The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, offer no resistance to one who is evil. When someone strikes you on your right cheek, turn the other one to him as well. If anyone wants to go to law with you over your tunic, hand him your cloak as well. Should anyone press you into service for 1 mile, go with him for 2 miles. Give to the one who asks of you, and do not turn your back on one who wants to borrow." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, O Lord Jesus Christ.
We are now meditating on the 8th promise of Jesus to Margaret Mary. Fervent souls shall quickly mount to high perfection. Fervent souls shall quickly mount to high perfection. For those of you who have joined us just today, we have been meditating on the 12 promises of Jesus of the Sacred Heart as a way of preparing ourselves for the solemnity of the Sacred Heart this June 19. So the 8th promise of the Sacred Heart is connected to the 7th promise. Yesterday, we meditated on lukewarm souls shall become fervent. The second part of that promise, fervent souls shall quickly mount to high perfection. For psychologists and therapists, it is more difficult to move a person from -1 to 0 as it is to move a person from 0 to 1. So the journey of a person from negativity to positivity, it is easier when someone has already crossed the threshold from negativity to positivity. From being negative to positive, it takes a while, it takes a lot of effort, but once a person crosses into positivity, it is much easier to move the person to higher plane or perfection. This is the 8th promise of Jesus. The imagery we can think of is our battle with ourselves every morning. Lukewarm souls would rather stay in bed. And if you don't cross the threshold, if you're not able to transcend it, the pool of the bed for you, you'll stay there for the whole day. But once you get over it, once you're able to get up, fix your bed, and prepare yourself in whatever you would like to do for the day, then it's much easier once you have gotten out of bed. The same thing in spiritual life. It is quite difficult to make someone come alive if someone is lukewarm or lethargic. If you are going through your dark night or dryness in your spirituality. But once you're able to go beyond it, once you're able to bask in the sunlight of God's grace, then God can bring you and take you to places you would not have ever imagined to go. So perfection is not about being flawless. Perfection is about getting nearer to God in our prayer, in our lifestyle, in our spirituality. So fervent souls are souls who have discovered that they can get up by the grace and mercy of God, through the help of Jesus, the Sacred Heart. We can get up from where we are. Pwedeng bumangon ulit ang mga tao at maglakad patungo sa kinabukasan na hinihintay ng Diyos o binuon ng Diyos para sa kanila. Sa panahon natin ngayon, maraming tao ang naandun pa sa hirap bumangon. Pero pinapangako sa atin ng kamahal-mahalang puso ni Jesus, just get up, take my hand, and I will take you to places you have never been. In other words, you have to help yourself so that Jesus can help you. Once you're there, once you allow yourself to be led, to be guided by the Sacred Heart, then you can overcome all your struggles. You can transcend all your negativities. But you have to allow Him to do that for you. If we don't allow Him, if we don't give Him a chance to help us, then we will be forever stuck. We won't get out. We won't find the exit of our situation. So this promise of Jesus, fervent souls, this speaks to us about moving forward, moving towards a higher kind of existence, to a better kind of life. Perfection, as I've said, is not about flawlessness or having committed nothing, no sin. Ang pagiging perfect para sa Panginoon ay yung kahandaan natin na sumunod sa Kanya in our desire to imitate Him in charity and in love. So perfection is about perfection in charity. It is not about not committing mistakes. So high perfection in spiritual life, especially in following the Sacred Heart, is a matter of going beyond ourselves. Yun din ang ibig sabihin ng Ebanghelyo ngayon from Matthew chapter 5. Offering the other cheek is perfection. Not giving in to retaliation and revenge is perfection of love. Forgiveness is being like God. It is imitating God. So for us, the challenge as Christians is not just to avoid evil, but more so, it is in striving to do good every moment of our life. That's high perfection. When we are able to reach that level of life where we can transcend our desire to get even, and we try to imitate God in mercy and compassion, that's the time that we are perfect in a relative sense. So in our reflection this morning, we ask ourselves, number one, have I been able to transcend my lack of faith so that now there is a spark of light, spark of faith in my heart? Have I transcended my desire to get even with my enemies so that now I am ready to forgive and to show compassion and be reconciled? Have I transcended my selfishness so that now I am ready to share, I'm ready to be generous? That's the effect of a fervent soul that has been touched by the Sacred Heart. When we are ready to enter into the journey to perfection, being God in the midst of people today, or showing the face of God in our everyday life. Mahirap yun, sapagkat mas madali ang hila ng kawalan ng pag-asa. St. John Paul II talked about it in the early 90s in his book, Crossing the Threshold of Hope. Ang sabi ni St. John Paul noon, ang hirap tumawid patungo sa pag-asa, sapagat maraming humihila sa atin pababa patungo sa kalungkutan at kawalan nito. But once we are able to cross the threshold of hope, then we recognize, we realize that God is our power, God is our strength, God is our hope. Kailangan mo lang abutin ang kamay ng sagradong puso ni Jesus para matulungan ka niya. So it is important that we, devotees of the Sacred Heart, perform that daily act of consecration to the Sacred Heart. We will reflect on that more tomorrow. Pero yun ang hinihingi sa atin. Take the hand of Jesus so that we can get up, so that we can move forward. Pagdasal natin na maraming tao ngayon na unti-unti na iginugupo ng kawalan ng pag-asa. It is not just lukewarmness that they are struggling with. It is despair, losing hope. In this 8th promise of Jesus, we ask Him for the grace of having a fervent heart, a fervent soul, passion to follow Him, to be once again fired up, to imitate Him in virtues, to imitate Him in our daily life. Bumangon para tayo ay makasunod kay Jesus sa daan ng kagalakan at pag-asa. Let us rise so that we can follow Jesus on the way to perfection. Allow the Sacred Heart of Jesus to touch your heart, that He may take away our lukewarmness. He may take away our sadness and give us hope, give us joy, give us love, give us what we need in our life right now.